Our Spring Sports AD podcast starts today, and we're talking all things Princeton Vikings with AD Joe Roberts. Joe, how are we doing today?
Hey, Rob, it's great to see you on this beautiful April Fool's Monday.
Yes,
It's
and
great
you
to be here.
you got me good at the beginning of the call, and so that's the first time I've been had so far this year. So we can chalk that up to a job well done, Coach. Job well
Great. Thank you. Thank you. I've never been one to be labeled that I'm a good April Foolers, but that's wonderful to hear.
you've accomplished. You've got one in the
Yeah.
books. Let's talk spring sports. Wow, what a way to start with your baseball program.
Yeah.
5-0. It's fantastic. I would love to see the history books to know when was the last time Princeton baseball started their season 5-0.
Yeah.
It's been a couple
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at minimum 6 years ago, because, we haven't had that in the 5 years I've been here. And I was gone for a few days. We took the spring break, a little family vacation getaway, and Coach McGowan came in the office Friday afternoon, and we're sitting here chatting. He's like, "Well, what do you think?" And I'm like, "Think about what?" And he's like, 5-0. I said, "Okay, well, when are you going to be 6-0?" kind of thing. But I am super, super excited for Viking baseball and what our kids are doing right now. It's so early, and we're scheduled to play this evening at Coleraine, which will be a really great test and a great GMC matchup for us. Um, but now it's just going to come down to, we're going to play the game of pitching. We're going to play the game of weather.
Yep.
But the kids are playing really great baseball. I'm excited to watch them play. I'm going to go
And
to
I love the
Coleraine
red
tonight.
uniforms. The red
I do
uniforms.
too.
Sweet.
I do too. Old school pinstripes. But I'm gonna go over to Coleraine this evening and catch a few innings. I'm gonna come back and catch some of the JV game that we'll have here at Princeton as well. But the staff and the kids are really doing a great job, and it's been great to be able to get some solid baseball in as we during the break, which is what
Yes.
is needed. The weather has played an advantage for us, and so really excited about this first half. And the April 15th will be a cutoff for the first half, and then that second half will start. And we know what's in front of us because of how deep this league is and how tough this league is. But I think our players are ready for it.
Yeah, it's great. Just to talk about the week ahead for varsity baseball, travel to Coleraine today, and then travel to East on Wednesday. They host East on Friday, and they go to the prestigious Reds Youth Academy for the Reds Futures High School Showcase against West High at 11 o'clock on Saturday. I think it's $5 to get in. Tom Gamble's group does a great job. You get I think a Skyline
Yeah.
coupon, you get a Reds ticket coupon, there's PA announcers. It's just a well done event. So a fun week ahead. Hopefully weather holds for the varsity baseball team and great success for them.
Yeah, really looking forward. It's going to be a good week. Going to be able to catch some games this week, and then, like you said, ending that on Saturday in that event that Tom puts on is always a great opportunity for our kids to get a good non-league game in, and then also to be able to play down at the Reds Youth Academy. It's an awesome facility. They do a fantastic job, and they care about baseball in our city, and they care about baseball in our community. So it's really great for them to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Let's switch over. Stay on the diamond. Let's go talk softball. I saw a picture on social media, maybe 5 or 6 senior softball
Yeah.
players this year, which is just fantastic. Supposed to play at Lakota West tonight at 5 o'clock. Hopefully, weather holds. Thursday, travel to Hamilton, and then Friday home against Coleraine. So
Yeah.
right into the GMC play and best
Right.
of them.
Well, and right in the thick of it, and again, if we say it once, we're going to say it 10,000 times, just about how strong and how deep the Greater Miami Conference is across the board in our sports. But when you look at softball in particular and baseball, just the depth that this league has, it really is preparing these kids for postseason. It's preparing them all. It's a grind that they have to get through. But Coach Black, we're sitting here, and I don't think that the record right now is going to be reflective of the effort and what we're trying to put together. And having 5 seniors, like you said, Rob, has been really good for our program
No question.
because we need to build the numbers. We need kids to play softball. I believe that we have an insurgence of youth that are coming that have been playing softball for a long time. And so that's been one of Princeton's uh, hitches, if you will, is that we don't have a lot of students that play the game from an early age. So they pick it up later in life, and then they're kind of behind a little bit, just simply from a developmental standpoint. And so I think we're starting to see now kids that have been playing for a long time and like to play it. And so I think that's going to bode really well for us as this year moves on, but also into the future.
Joe, do you think there's a correlation? I know there is with baseball for the years I coached. When the Reds are solid and exciting, it helps in the local baseball. But does it also help with softball? Would you guess?
Oh, I think it does. I think just first off, Southwest Ohio softball is probably as strong as it gets. Yeah, the Northeast has a really strong plot of softball, but when you're in Southwest Ohio, I mean, it is a hotbed for softball players, and they've been playing it a long time. I do believe when the Reds have some great momentum, a lot of people love carrying that momentum, and so then they get hooked into it, if you will. It's kind of like when the Bengals are successful, everybody's really excited about football, but that's kind of an anomaly in that end because we know what Ohio high school football
Right.
is like across the board. But Southwest Ohio baseball and softball certainly has the tendencies to be able to follow that mode. And when our professional organization, the Reds, are hot, then I think people take an interest in it and they're going to play it naturally.
Yeah, that's great. Well, best of luck to them this week, and hopefully the five seniors are leaders and build something great. Let's go to the hard court. Go boys tennis, and I believe, let's see, they'll start GMC play tomorrow, hosting the Aviators, and then wow, they're booked. They got three matches, GMC matches. Travel to always tough Mason, and then host Coleraine on Thursday. So jumping right in.
Yeah, Coach Mulholland's wasting no time, to get his feet wet and get going right away. I think there was a little bit of off time for the kids during the break, and then we're just going to start right at it. I think I saw him over there practicing this morning for a little bit, and getting the kids ready to go as we jump right in with Sycamore tomorrow here at the courts, and that's going to be great. Brag a little bit about our tennis program. We will host sectionals this year
Nice.
due to the ATP construction. So, being able to play on your home courts is always a big advantage. But our tennis program is going to be something up and down a lot this year. I think again it goes into numbers, but we have a really high. I think he told me before the break that we were at like 25 tennis
Really?
players right now. So,
Fantastic.
hats off to him and Coach McCauley, our JV coach, and what they're doing. And he just didn't know what to do with that many kids. And I said, you're going to be able to balance it correctly. There will be some of those kids that may not get to see a match just because they're coming out for tennis to try it for
Yeah.
maybe their second time. But he's going to be able to get them into some good rotations. Looking forward to the Coaches Classic again later on in April, and just looking forward to seeing what the kids are going to be able to do out there on the court.
That's fun. You guys got great courts at Princeton, so that's
Yeah.
great to play on. So best of luck to them as the season gets underway. Let's talk track and field. Looks like they had an invitational down in Georgia over spring break, but tomorrow they have the Wayne Warrior Relays, and I bet you that's a big one for the Vikings to go to.
Yeah, right before break or right during break, we had two meets canceled on us due to the weather. So he started out, both boys and girls track started out 0-2, if you will, just due to weather cancellations. And so trying to get the guys and the girls ready. I have not had a chance to get an update on how they did down in Georgia, but I know that Coach Braddock and Coach Smith are preparing them, our runners and throwers and jumpers accordingly as we gear up for the Wayne invite this week in the midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. I can't remember off the top of my head. But then this Saturday, we'll have the Princeton Spurlock invite here, and it'll be
Right.
senior day starting at 12 o'clock noon at Pat Mancuso Field. and just they waste no time. Our coaches waste no time in getting the best of the best to come in and compete against our student athletes, and they see that light and they chase that light. And of course, they have a goal to send as many and get up on that podium at Welcome Stadium in June, and just like all of our programs try to achieve too. So, just looking forward to watching them this coming Saturday at the Spurlock to see how they perform against some pretty high level competition. We've got some teams coming out of Michigan that are going to be here that are going to be pretty difficult, and so I'm looking forward to watching them run against them.
Sounds great. Yeah, best of luck to them. And then let's wrap up the sport review with going inside the boys volleyball. They've got a couple matches under their belt already, and then travel to Oak Hills on Tuesday. And looks like they've been in all of their matches. Looking at the scores, I mean, good gracious, 26-24, 25-22. I mean, they're hanging and stick with it, and it looks like it'll be a nice season for boys volleyball.
Yeah, Coach Duckworth and her staff, they headed out, started 0-3, running over, or I'm sorry, 1-2 at the season. I had a chance to go watch our boys volleyball team at Milford that week right before the break, and then of course we just jump right into GMC play, and she does a great job of scheduling for the kids to accommodate what they may be doing outside of volleyball.
Sure.
Again, it's a growth pattern. She's got a lot of kids that are now in their third season playing volleyball, and so that's really helped them. They've got to fine tune some of that serving that they constantly work on. But it's like you
Right.
said, like they get down, let's say 5 or 6 points, and then all of a sudden they make this huge rally, which is volleyball,
Right.
and then it's that close that opponent out, and that's where we're going to get them to, is they got to be able to close that opponent out. But really looking forward to what they've put together, and it's going to be a great week this week to be able to have a home match with West this week, and then be on the road for a couple, and and a non-league with Milford as well. So that'll be a good week.
Best of luck to them and all the Vikings teams this week as spring gets underway. Recently, Joe, we lost a colleague, and I know that you wanted to talk about it a little bit.
I did. And I appreciate you saying that, Rob. I do. Our hearts still go out to the Sycamore Aves community and losing Mark Harden as AD there 2 weeks ago, and it's been a shock to all of us, especially in the league. He is going to be missed. He was a dear friend, a great sounding board to a lot of different ideas and kind of off the wall topics sometimes. He had just a different approach, and it was one that I really appreciated in how he was able to view this position in this role that we do every day. And just going to miss Mark.
Very calming. Very calming.
Yeah, he was. He was very calming. He was also very competitive. I mean, he really was, and I really valued him and what he meant to this conference, but also what he meant to Sycamore, and he's just going to be missed by all of us.
Well, thanks for saying that, Joe. It still is tough. Whew.
Yeah,
it's tough. Well, anyway, best of luck to all the Vikings teams this week. Next week, we're trying to figure out when we're going to have our next show. There's a thing called an eclipse that's happening that seems to be throwing everything off. So we'll have a show sometime next week. It might be Tuesday, it might be Wednesday, but we'll get through it. And I hope you have a great week, Joe, and thanks for taking the time.
Rob, thanks. You have a great week yourself. Great talking to you.